Hello and welcome to another episode of On Board with Cruise Passenger. I'm Rose Kelly, your host.
And I'm Peter Lynch, publisher and editor-in-chief of cruisepassenger.com.au and Cruise and Travel Luxury Magazine.
Now, we don't always dress up for a podcast. Today's a pretty special episode. I wonder if you can guess where we're going today. We're off to
Hong Kong!
Yay! So many of you guys are really passionate fly cruisers, and we love seeing as many new places as possible and trying out different itineraries.
Indeed, and in this case, we've dressed for the part. There's a very good reason for it. I personally love exploring a new city a couple of days out before I board the ship and taking in the sights and sounds. It gives us the ultimate way to get our holiday legs, as it were.
Absolutely.
And before we get our sea legs.
Well, it's almost like having two holidays in one, isn't it, Peter? Because, you know, it'd be crazy to fly all the way to a fabulous new destination and not to stop and enjoy it before you board the ship.
Quite right, Rose. The city we're flying into today for our holiday before our cruise holiday is a place where East truly meets West. It's a melting pot of culture, food, shopping, dining and entertainment, a beautiful harbour, nature and history.
Well, it's a city that boasts just about every experience, and it's also a destination that's very dear to my heart.
And to mine.
Yes. Peter, you lived in Hong Kong.
I lived in Hong Kong for 3 years and stayed on the 36th floor of the building that housed the Grand Hyatt. Number 1 Harbour Road, Wan Chai.
Wow.
It had tennis courts on the 7th floor and the Dynasty Club where all the top businessmen dined. Today, there's at least half a mile between that building and the harbour because the land's been reclaimed.
Oh, wow.
So we're going to explore the very best of Hong Kong, suggesting why you should consider it for your next cruise and your next cruise holiday.
But would you say that there's another side to Hong Kong that many people don't know about?
There's a whole other side. Hong Kong really is two cities. Many people don't actually know that there are beautiful beaches and islands outside the main Kowloon district. And they're stunning. I lived there for 3 months before I even discovered them.
I want to hear that story. But one of my favourite beaches, I will remember it until the day I die. It's Repulse Bay. And I was so surprised to see that this existed so close to the city. You're right, Peter.
Yes, it's an absolute surprise. It just makes sense that you'd want to go and see all of this when you're boarding your cruise at Kai Tak Cruise Terminal, located at the former airport in Kowloon. Kai Tak is one of Asia's most modern cruise terminals.
Okay, it is indeed, and it's one of the wonders of the cruise world, in fact. So Hong Kong literally serves as a gateway to mainland China and to wider Asia, making it an ideal embarkation point for East Asia and Southeast Asia sailings. From Hong Kong, you can easily sail to Vietnam, Thailand, Singapore, Japan and beyond. Hong Kong is what I would call the and post-cruises delight.
It absolutely is. And for smaller boutique ships, those of Viking, for example, it's possible to moor right in the heart of the fragrant harbour, which is Victoria Harbour's name, and witness the city's incredible nightly light show from the deck. It's a very special way to begin your cruise.
It absolutely is. And you can watch it all with a glass of bubbles in your hand. Yep. I've done that with Viking, or you've done that with Viking as well, Peter. Viking. And it's very, very special. And Nathan Road shopping, hello, over here, it's just a stone's throw away too.
Ocean Terminal is in the centre of Hong Kong, specifically in Tsim Sha Tsui, the district in Kowloon known for its shopping, the Kowloon side of Victoria Harbour.
So now our viewers may be wondering just how many cruise lines and which cruise lines actually sail in and out of Hong Kong.
You'll be surprised to know that there are so many. Azamara, Carnival Cruise Line, Celebrity Cruises, Crystal, Cunard.
Oh, and then there's Dream Cruises, Explorer Journeys, Hapag-Lloyd, Holland America Line, MSC Cruises, Oceania Cruises, Penant and Princess, and right now, Royal Caribbean's Spectrum of the Seas is home porting.
And in the luxury sector, there's Regent Seven Seas, Ritz-Carlton Yachts, Viking, Seabourn, Silversea and Windstar.
Wow. So I've got to say, with this many cruise lines, and let's imagine it's an average of average of 2,000 passengers per ship with multiple itineraries. That's a lot of people spending time in Hong Kong looking for the best things to see and do.
But don't take our word for it. We've got a very special guest who is also a big fan of Hong Kong.
Absolutely. So our guest today is much-loved TV chef Justine Schofield, who's recently filmed her latest foodie travelogue series. It's called Hong Kong Gourmet with Justine Schofield.
Can't wait to meet her.
Justine, thank you so much for joining us today. I'm so excited to hear your take on Hong Kong. And I know that it's been more than 16, maybe 18 years now since you first started MasterChef in Hong Kong. Does that feel like a distant memory?
Do you know what? This time when we landed to shoot the show, it was oh my gosh, the last time I was here, I was carrying suckling pig on my back, running down the streets of Hong Kong to do this challenge, making dumplings in the torrential rain.
There's got to be a story
quite
there.
different.
I was going to say, has that changed?
It has changed indeed. It has changed indeed. In fact, I mean, I've been to Hong Kong maybe about a dozen times, and every time is so different for different reasons.
Yeah.
And I remember going as a child. Mum would go there quite a lot. It would definitely be a stopover for us to go somewhere else. Yeah. So we would take that opportunity to stay there for 3 days. But
Brilliant.
I remember just landing and how incredible. In 1990, I think they closed the airport, but the original airport, it was so extreme. And that's sort of what Hong Kong is, extreme, when you go there. So this time was much more relaxed and more about food-focused.
Not so many suckling pigs on
Not
your
so many
back.
suckling pigs.
Yeah.
It was more enjoying the food as opposed to stressing out to win a competition.
So talk us through the new show. I believe it was filmed in 12 days.
Yes, we did in 12 days, which seems like quite a lot, but to do a 6-part series, and there's a lot to cover. There's a lot of food in Hong Kong. It was quite a big 12 days to shoot it. And it's a bit of a show. It's an inspirational show. So we go and explore and a journey with trying to find new restaurants, meeting new chefs. And it's also an inspirational show. So for me, getting all that inspiration to go then cook very casual at-home recipes that are attainable for the everyday person.
Give us a snapshot of what a day would be like filming in Hong Kong. I can imagine it was very early starts and late finishes, but to be doing that in Hong Kong itself must have been really quite exciting.
It is super exciting, but see, our problem is we stay at these wonderful hotels and we start at 6 a.m, but then you see the buffet and you attack the buffet. And I should know by now, after doing this many travel shows, not to touch the buffet because the first scene is going to be at some incredible restaurant. And in saying that, we did have, if you go to Hong Kong, it's one thing you have to do is go to the Cha Tan Chens, which are the most beautiful places where you go and have a tea that has the sweet milk in it and a pineapple bun. Now, if you've ever had a beautiful, warm, crispy on the outside, fluffy on the inside bun, you look like you're salivating.
I just saw your eyes glaze over as you described that.
It's the best breakfast. So that was my rookie era is to have a buffet breakfast before pineapple bun. Don't do that. Just go straight to the pineapple bun.
But I think the wonderful thing about Hong Kong is you can really have those amazing traditional breakfasts where the ladies come around with their steamers.
Exactly.
And serve you delicious dumplings. It's a great way to start the day. I really found it amazing.
It is. When they say you can get anything in Hong Kong, they really mean you can get everything from absolute luxe to the cheapest of meals that are just as superb as the luxury experience.
And you have to be really good at this because I still remember
Yes.
in a fish restaurant being served live prawns on a skewer and asking my waiter would he wouldn't mind taking it back to the kitchen and doing the deed there.
Doing the deed there. I love that. How polite how you put that.
Well, there's something about your food sort of waving at you when you're actually eating it.
I know. But it's a part of the experience, isn't it?
It is all part of the experience. I think that's the one thing I love. And I know you're very keen on street food and hawkers.
Love it. Yes.
And of course, Hong Kong that's its traditional base. Its food base is those local people with a wok and a burner in the street.
Do you feel like that's still going strong, or is there a little bit of a drifting away from that street food immersive experience?
It's funny you say that. We touch on it quite a lot in the show. It's called a dai pai dong, which are those traditional open fire restaurants, inexpensive, very fresh because the turnover is so fast.
So fast. Yeah, they
Yes.
don't have time for the food to sit.
Exactly. And you don't want to miss that experience. But it is a dying art. Streets, they're sort of trying to clean up, if you call it clean up. But they're still there though, which is a good thing for people when they go to travel to Hong Kong. You can still experience that authentic, delicious wok fried food, and nothing compares. You can taste the smokiness. So we went to one where we had some stir fried clams, and you can't take your eyes off the master, so to speak, as he tosses the wok. This flame is intense. The smells, it's an assault of the senses. It really is.
Well, it's almost like it's performance art as well.
It's an art
in itself.
And I think the thing to remember is that those amazing flames actually mean the food is freshly cooked.
Yep.
And their turnover is enormous. And because of it being cooked in front of you, it's probably okay to eat.
I'm sure.
It is 100% okay to eat, and there are so many strict laws in place to make sure that it is 100%. And you can just see, where the crowd is, where there's a lot of wok movement happening. You're sitting on little stools, but that's part of the experience. I don't want anything to be too clean. Come on.
That's where the fun is. That's where the adventure is.
That's travel, right?
That is so
that's
true.
where the history is.
Yes.
I mean, I know that you've encountered some of the local chefs and, for example, a noodle man who's been doing the same art for 50 years.
Yes.
And that's his one craft, and he's perfected it, and it's his passion. Do you feel part of that culture and that art and the history when you're experiencing it?
Absolutely. We went to a beautiful place where, again, it's one thing that you must do when you go to Hong Kong is to have a wonton noodle soup.
Yes.
We went to a family-run business that had been going for 80 years, and they have not changed a thing.
Yep.
Good.
From the broth to the way they make their noodles. We had the experience of making the noodles with them, trying the wontons, and it's simplicity at its best.
Yep.
And for me as a foodie, where my whole trip revolves around what I'm eating, looking for those authentic mum and dad restaurants is what really gets me excited. I do love the luxe side too, of course, because the theatre of that, but what really gets me excited is someone that does something so well, and you can only get one thing on the menu, and that's what they do. And you know it's going to be good.
I'm so glad you're doing that, because the really important part is that tourists actually get off the beaten track and try these places. And I think what we're all agreeing is that in Hong Kong, you can do that pretty safely and know that the food you're going to eat will be fine.
Yeah.
And it means you can try some very, very different things, because there really are two Hong Kongs. I may as well tell you that when I lived in Hong Kong, the Mandarin Oriental was my go-to place.
Yeah.
But I would not describe that as an adventure. It was culinarily beautiful, but not actually a great adventure. And some of the side streets have the real culture of Hong Kong.
Yeah, absolutely.
And talking of culture, what else do you love about Hong Kong?
I think for me that what is the best part of Hong Kong is how they do old and new so well.
Yeah, I agree.
And the Hong Kong Island, we'll talk about Hong Kong Island itself. It's just so dramatic from Victoria Harbour, going up the Travelator all the way to the top. It's mountainous, so you see this beautiful skyline, particularly at night time. It's just breathtaking.
Yes.
With a cocktail in your hand, why not?
Divine.
And then you can go for a hike.
Yeah.
Around the corner, and
Yes.
it's so close, and then it's all those little islands around it that you can do day trips. So you don't need to have long weeks. I mean, you could spend months and months there and only just touch the surface. But if you're wanting to have quite a small stopover, you can actually do quite a lot in that time, because everything is so easy to get around. The transport's fantastic, and the food is world class.
I think you've just touched on something there. A lot of people don't realise how many islands are part of this inner circle of Hong Kong, and that it is perfectly accessible
Yes.
in a short period of time.
Yep.
Most people just think, I've got 48 hours in Hong Kong, I'm going to hit up Kowloon and just do the shopping. Whereas,
Correct.
you know, you can really get out to one of Peter's favourite spots is Repulse Bay.
So
It's easily
I
done.
have a confession to make. So I lived in Hong Kong for 3 years, but it was 3 months before I realised that there were beaches. I just assumed that I was in a metropolis, and that was that. Until I drove around the island and realised, and then, as you mentioned, went on some of the island ferries, and you discover this whole other Hong Kong, rural, rustic, still, you know, the same culture, but really very, very different.
Absolutely.
And many people don't know that. So if you're going for a short trip, I absolutely recommend that you research a bit of that. You just jump on a ferry. It's really cheap.
Yeah.
You can go to an island, rent a bike or walk and find a completely different rural and rustic area.
And it feels good. I mean, if you're staying in one of the beautiful, luxurious hotels, which is what we did, to then go out of the hustle and bustle
Yes.
and to find these little local villages. We went to Teo, which was just, I think I'm pronouncing it right, Teo, and we've met another local family that all they do is shrimp paste and shrimp sauce, not fish, but shrimp. There's nothing in it but the shrimp, and the way that they make it, again, they've been doing it for 80 plus years, even longer.
Yeah.
And it's something that you can take home. It's another little souvenir because it's all tidy how they bottle it. So it's completely safe. It's beautiful, authentic. You can't get that anywhere else. And to go to these places, it feels quite special.
It is. And the amazing thing is you'll find on a street full of food shops, there'll be one with an enormous queue and three with not much.
Yes.
You know where you should go, right?
Just follow.
It's why it's different, because it is so authentic and because it's got that history. And you're right, there are many, many people, older chefs, who really guard those recipes. And that's why people know. There's a whole food network in Hong Kong about where's good and where's not.
Exactly. I mean, I know so many expats that live there too.
Yeah.
And the lists are so long, they're quite overwhelming. You've got to go here, you've got to go here.
I know.
But
I love that.
It is, and it's okay, which one do I go to? You can't have a bad meal there, really.
Technically speaking, there's apparently more than 70 Michelin-starred restaurants in and around Hong Kong. I mean, that's extraordinary.
Yes,
They say it's the most highly dense.
I have to say, I'm not a great fan of Michelin coming along and judging a dumpling, but I know what you mean.
We'd be better dumpling judges any day, Peter.
I would absolutely go with a local recommendation over Michelin because, my view is Hong Kong has this great reputation, but it's all on the ground and it's all about really local ingredients and local
Just
food.
get lost and find them.
Sorry, Mr. Michelin. Just my view. Now, look, you've been there many times. Yes. What are the 3 experiences you would tell Australians that they must do?
When people go to Hong Kong, especially for a short amount of time, these are the things that I tell them they have to do. They've got to go mid-level Travelator. It's just a must. I think if you want to see a place and capture it in a small amount of time, work your way all the way to the top because it's so mountainous, it's so hilly. You can walk it, but start from the bottom, go up that, and just people watch.
Yes.
And see the beautiful buildings, and then walk down the cobblestones, the old streets. That's where you get the true essence of Hong Kong.
Yes.
You've got to have roasted goose. Non-negotiable.
Well,
non-negotiable.
by the time you've wandered down from that Travelator, that's when you get your appetite.
Yeah.
And you'll find it on your journey down the Travelator. So don't go down the Travelator, you'll go up, of course, and then walk down.
Meander down.
Just by doing that, you'll be able to have the most authentic experience. And, of course, you've got to have some dumplings. You've got to have wonton noodle soup.
So that's compulsory.
And do a hike. You can start the morning with a hike. In fact, it makes sense to do a hike because you're going to be eating a lot. So get that hike out of the way, do the Travelator, and then eat your way down the hill.
That sounds divine.
That sounds gorgeous. And is there a final piece of advice you'd give to Australians staying for a short time?
Yeah, I think put your joggers on and go for a walk. And I don't just say that about Hong Kong. It's just wherever you travel. And I really insist on it because there are so many blogs and places that tell you where to go. But get your shoes on and go walking, because you will see the true place. And of
Yes.
course, markets. I think a lot of
Yes.
people
I
say
lo-
that. If you want to
absolutely.
see
So
what the
alive.
locals do,
Yeah.
go to the markets. It's an assault on the senses in a good way, and try different things. So walking and find a local market, and you'll see a place like that.
And apart from the goose,
Oh,
what's your one place to go for the ultimate Hong Kong food?
Dai Pai Dong. Okay, there are still a few out there, and it is a truly Hong Kong experience. Wok fried, delicious food at its best. Try that. You'll go away feeling quite satisfied.
And stay and just sit on the little stools on the side of the street and just get in and amongst it,
Yeah.
would you say?
Absolutely. And
Yeah.
people watch these Dai Pai Dongs. You'll see the grandmother there, you'll see the auntie there, and they're all working in harmony. And you think, oh, well, I wonder why they're sitting down. There's lines of people, but they know exactly what's happening,
So true.
and they do it well. And you will have a delicious meal, a happy, safe meal. Don't worry
Yes.
about like, oh, street food. Street food is where it's at.
Just embrace it.
Absolutely.
Street food's where it's at. You've heard it. It's official. Justine has told us.
Great advice, Justine. Thank you so much for coming on the show.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you so much.
And you can catch Hong Kong Gourmet right now on SBS On Demand.
Sounds absolutely scrumptious. So we've both been to Hong Kong, obviously. Peter, you've lived there, as we know.
Yep.
So now we're going to talk about a game.
Again,
Are you ready for a game? We're going to talk about your favourite things to do in 48 hours.
sounds fabulous.
So just before we do launch into our quick hot list of 48 hours, I do want to just tell you and our beautiful viewers about how I first fell in love with Hong Kong.
I can't wait to hear
All
it.
right,
Tell us
so
that.
let me take you there. I was 15 years old and I grew up in a little town in New South Wales called Coffs Harbour, about as different to Hong Kong as you could imagine.
Yep.
So I hadn't actually been overseas before, and I won this award called the Coffs Harbour Young Citizen of the
The
Year.
Young Citizen of the Year.
I know. Try not to laugh, Peter.
There has to be a story there.
Anyway, the prize money was to go travelling, pick anywhere in the world.
Wow.
And I said, Mum, I want to go to Hong Kong because I just couldn't imagine anything more diverse. So off we went. And in fact, it was so immersive and so diverse and so sensory for me that it really absolutely created my love for travel.
Yes.
And fast forward to today, here I am as a travel journalist. You know, it really actually paved my entire career journey, I could say, you know, to being this amazing world-class podcaster. But it was Hong Kong. That's how I fell in love with Hong Kong and with travel.
I must say I can totally understand it. It is an explosion on the senses. And there are so many different messages coming, cultural messages, that it is absolutely startling.
So, Peter, you've dropped hints here and there, but Hong Kong also has a very special place in your heart.
Indeed it does, Rose. As I said, I lived in Hong Kong for 3 years. I was running one of the city's mighty newspapers. It was incredible. From the ritziest parties filled with crazy rich Asians, I mean, Thai wives, these are rich women, as they were called, would visit a big brand store like Gucci and try on a jacket, and if they liked it, they'd buy every size to make sure that they were never caught out in the same outfit as someone else.
Oh, that is a story.
Absolutely amazing. So I was lucky enough to be there when Hong Kong was buzzing. Its movie industry and stars, arts and culture were second to none in Asia. Food, nightlife, Hong Kong had it all. Much of that is still to be discovered, by the way.
Peter, you had me at Gucci. So
Buy out every jacket.
I think it's fair to say we both have a lot of passion for Hong Kong in our hearts. So with that said, I think it's time to actually do like a 48 hours buzz game almost of like describing our favourite features about Hong Kong. All right, so we're going to start. Peter, let's start with your 24 hours in Hong Kong. Let's hit the ground running.
Okay, I can't wait for this. I think we always need to get our perspective on where we are. So what better way than going to the famous Peak Tram? It's a historical treasure, and don't be put off by the fact that it's been operating since 1888. It has been updated. But from the top, around 369 metres up, you can see everything below. The harbour, the city, the houses. It's dazzling from here. And you manage to get your bearings about this amazing place, so small yet so dynamic. From the summit, you can visit the Sky Terrace, where one of the world's most inspiring skylines rises in layers of glass and mist between the mountains and sea. I highly recommend taking the Peak Tram in the evening and drinking in the enormity of a city of 7.5 million people below you.
Yeah.
And it looks like they're all in the same apartment block, by the way. The lights, the sounds, the smells. It's just a massive sensory overload.
I feel like it's a scene from Blade Runner.
Yes, absolutely right. Back inside the Peak Tower, you can grab an early bite to eat and choose from dim sum right through to classics in a breakfast spread as diverse as Hong Kong itself. And then take the Peak Circle walk for more stunning views of the south side, when you'll realise that Hong Kong still has a really well-preserved natural side.
Well, this is a perfect start to the day. So what's on for the afternoon?
Descend from the clouds into the Old Town Central, where the business district disappears into a labyrinth of heritage streets and vintage storefronts.
Wow. Oh, great. We're shopping.
We're shopping.
Here we go.
I've been around long enough, Rose, to know that I need to bring home fabulous gifts for the team.
Yes.
And for my wife, Teresa, when I travel. So this area is like the beating heart of Hong Kong. It's a lively mix of old and new, like absolute vintage and glue associates.
Cool. Okay. Well, you're a smart husband. I can say that, Peter.
Yes, indeed.
Yes, indeed. I'm loving it.
And there's really something here for me too, Rose. If you pop over to Causeway Bay, you'll find a few shops with wonderful shirts. The labels have been snipped off. Why? Well, actually, it's because they are top brands at incredibly cheap prices. They're what are called the overruns, because during manufacturing, they actually make more shirts than the client wants.
So they're the real deal.
And they're the real deal, not fake.
God.
They're really brilliant. And then there are those antique stores. And I love to pause at heritage temples and murals, admiring glimpses of daily life unfolding in those lovely narrow streets.
I had a feeling that you would have a soft spot for those traditional sides of honkers, Peter.
You're so right,
I
Rose.
knew it.
So for a taste of tradition, come with me to the legendary Look You Tea House for dim sum and order the shrimp dumplings and siu mai. And you must try the famous Hong Kong-style egg tarts at Tai Chong Bakery.
Oh, okay. Now, this is where my weak spot is. Okay, so you've mentioned the egg tarts. But, yeah, I mean, it can be said that you can't actually say you've been to Hong Kong until you've really had one of their Hong Kong egg tarts.
You've got to have those egg tarts. No time to rest, though. We need to work off those egg tarts and with a visit to Tai Kwan Galleries and the courtyards. Stop at Dragonfly for a refreshing drink.
You never stop, Peter.
Never stop.
This is a very busy 24 hours.
Here's the thing about Hong Kong, Rose. This city never sleeps. And it's when the sun dips that she really comes to life. We are going to wander back through the lively streets of Central, taking in the scene of the nightlife and the harbourfront views. It's mesmerising.
It sounds to me like we're kind of at the party, but not in the party.
Oh, no, you're in the party. I'm not really the nightlife type, as you know. I like an early night. But I do love seeing how the city transforms after dark. So as night falls, you'll catch a star ferry, again, a very famous part of Hong Kong's heritage, across the action-packed Victoria Harbour to Tsim Cha Tsui Promenade.
I'm very impressed.
By the pronunciation.
Yes.
We can stroll along the Avenue of Stars, Hong Kong's prestigious Walk of Fame, and pause to watch a symphony of lights, a fabulous nightly show that blankets skyscrapers in vibrant colours and lasers. It's really like the fireworks, a totally amazing sight.
What a vision. I'm loving the mix between relaxing but also exciting and vibrant.
Now, I'm almost done.
Okay.
For my final tip, we will sample street snacks like clay pot rice and curried fish balls and the nightlife. End with Shanghainese Yay Shanghai, where upscale Shanghainese comes wrapped in spectacular harbour views. It's a short walk to innovative museum shopping hybrid K11 Musea, where some of the island's most unique boutiques are opened until late. Finish the evening with a cocktail at Ozone, perched atop the Ritz-Carlton, where the city sparkles below you.
I might need an ozone mask by the end of this day, Peter.
Certainly a cocktail, right?
I don't know that you've left me anything for my 24 hours.
Oh, yes.
That was the
Hong
best
Kong's
list.
got more than enough.
You've nailed it. All right, well, I'll give it a crack. But,
Let's hear it.
All right, I hope everyone's had a nice rest because my day exploring Hong Kong, it's not a competition, but it is. We're going to need an early start to explore the historic Kowloon Peninsula, where shopping, art and culture all blur into one. So make sure you've got your best comfy walking shoes on, Peter. Yes, we're good to go.
Yep.
All right, you know me. But let's start. We're going to step back in time in Mongkok at Cam Wah Cafe. This is lively Hong Kong-style cafe that dates back to 1960, and it serves the time-honoured recipes like the freshly baked pineapple buns. We've heard a bit about the pineapple buns today, plus flaky egg tarts.
More egg tarts.
Oh, la la, and the French toast. Yes.
You're making me crave those egg tarts,
I've
Rose.
got the egg tarts in my itinerary. I wouldn't miss them. Okay, so we need to do our shopping first while we can still fit into our clothes, Peter. And it's a fun and fast train ride down to the waterfront to explore the harbour city, a one-stop shopping paradise with over 400 options of local and international tastes.
Love how you call it paradise, Rose. And you're absolutely right. Of course, we need to remember Hong Kong also has a great tailoring history. So more egg tarts.
I love your, modelling the
can
best
have
of
it
that
let out.
today. I love it. Okay, so it's a short walk to the Hong Kong Museum of Art to learn about the unique cultural legacy of Hong Kong's connection right across the globe. HKMOA, the first public art museum in the city, is now custodian of an art collection of almost 20,000 items.
Wow.
Right, so take in the culture, and then in the afternoon we're heading to Sham Shui Po, one of the island's most authentic and dynamic neighbourhoods with a deep cultural pull that's been defining Hong Kong for centuries, in fact. So
I underestimated you, Rose.
Oh, no, bear with me, stay with me. So it's also where we're going to find some legendary food outlets. There's so much food in Hong Kong, right? Excuse me? So you have these modern boutiques sitting next to the heritage shops. It's just this perfect mix of east and west, as we've been speaking about today. So here we are going to stop by Kung Wo Bean Curd Factory for lunch. It's famous for its century-old institution of silky tofu pudding.
Oh, that is so delicious.
Right? The
Hong
way
Kong
that it's
really
served.
is a food lover's paradise.
It really is. And art lovers. So next we're going to make our way to the Jockey Club Creative Arts Centre, a 9-storey cultural hub packed with galleries and workshops. I love Keelung street fabric and creative markets where the colours and the textures and the crafts they just make me want to create something fabulous, some more of our outfits. You wouldn't guess I'm into dressing up, would you?
Perhaps a ball gown.
A ball gown. I need another ball gown. Genius. And then we need something stunning for tonight because you've seen Mongkok by day, but watch it truly come alive at night. It's like a different city. This is Hong Kong at its most cinematic, with brightly lit signs and narrow streets packed with bars like J Moon Lounge and the equally chic Mooncock.
I'd better ring Teresa and tell her I'm coming home late.
Yeah, you'll be late, Peter. Indeed, but I'm sure she won't mind because we're going to Octavium. This is a 2 Michelin star restaurant and the 6 to 8 course tasting menu showcases decadent Italian flavours with refined international touches. It's proof of Hong Kong's truly global palate.
It goes to show there really is something for everyone in Hong Kong, from beaches and islands to bars and Michelin-starred restaurants.
That's it. And even something that combines a perfect mix of both. So to finish off, we will follow the rhythm of Wan Chai's vibrant bars and live music rooms over on Hong Kong Island.
anything quieter?
I know. Don't worry. We can put our feet up. I do actually. You're not going to take this personally, Peter, but we are ending the evening at Old Man.
Ah, my bar.
Nothing to do with you. One of Central's most famous cocktail bars, where Hemingway-inspired creations create the perfect end to the night.
I absolutely love stories like that. I'm on the pulse. I hear the Cat in the Rain cocktail is the best. And The Sun Also Rises is another great favourite.
So trendy, Peter. I knew you'd be all over
Me
it.
and Hemingway, you know.
But by the time the sun rises, we'll be hopefully perfectly settled on board our cruise, where we can wave goodbye to the sights of Hong Kong and begin chapter 2 of our cruise holiday.
I love it. So there you have it in Hong Kong. Your cruise, in one of the many famous lines, begins or ends with a stunning holiday filled with food, culture, and the mysteries of the Orient. I can't recommend this enough.
But for more, do go to discoverhongkong.com, and the address is right there on your screens. All right, well, that is sadly all from Peter and myself for today, but we've been talking all day about these tarts, Peter. Okay, I managed to go past a bakery. Now, I asked for Hong Kong egg tarts, and the closest Sydney had to offer were these jam tarts. So they're going to taste good, but I think it demonstrates our point today. There's only one thing left to do, Peter. We have to go to Hong Kong.
We do. You can't get the real thing here.
But they'll be pretty good anyway, so
They
help
look
yourself.
very good. Thank you very much, Rose.
But that's it.
You can find our luxury magazine, Cruise and Travel, at newsagents right now. It's a bumper edition with Reader's Choice Awards results and a celebration of our 25 years of publishing, plus a free magazine, The 100 Best Cruises of All Time, chosen by our team of writers and brought to you by My Cruises, our partner.
He's pretty excited about
I'm
this.
very excited.
You don't get to 100 editions in no time. That's very impressive.
I've already marked the 50 cruises I want to do next.
That's my copy.
That's... Join us next time for On Board with Cruise Passenger. Thanks so much for listening. See you next time.
See you guys. Bye.
It's you.